co-host. And you should appear at some point.
Alexa, play meditative music.
Yeah, you put some meditation music. Hello, everyone. Hello, people. Welcome. I'm just waiting for Betty to come live. Oh, yeah, here we are. Cool. I hung up. Hello. Aww. People are already like missing.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
So today, me and Betty have a really crazy topic that we need to talk about. So psychologically, I hope you are ready to speak about this. I don't know if you read the title. It's called Demonic Possession, but we're going to talk about entities and lower frequency entities and lower frequency spirits that lately have been trying to mess with a lot of people. So I don't know if that happened to you, or if you've seen people acting weird, or if you felt like this strong negativity taking over, or feeling confused. But this is what happens in the spiritual world when you are trying to elevate yourself and you are trying to merge with the highest version of you, and you will get some attacks because they do not want you to transition. They don't want you to elevate. Oh, you have, Luna? Okay, what happened? Have you been seeing, I don't know, people, or is something within you? But with the work that we do, so Betty this morning, she had like some work that she did with the rods, and you can say it, Betty. So what happened? You had some.
I was just clearing some curses.
Mm-hmm.
Curses were coming up.
Yeah. So people. What does this mean? Is that people had some like weird stuff happening to them, and Betty figured out through the rods that there is a course. So is energy that has been sent, and it become.
They're generally intended to block or sabotage or interfere with our lives in some way, our healing, our connection to the divine. So it's similar to an emotional energy, like an energy that gets trapped, and they can be created by the subconscious mind. It could just be a negative feeling towards someone. Someone's subconscious could create a curse towards you just in having a negative feeling. Your emotion and intention is one of the most powerful tools that we have. So when we use our emotion and intention in that way, even if we don't intend on hurting the person, it can just cause an interference in that person's energy body.
Yes, and I mean, for me, it's something that I tried to speak about it a couple of times in the past, and then I got super attacked, so I kind of backtrack again, but now I'm moving forward again. But I exorcised people in my life. I literally exorcised people, and it's not something that people come at me and they're like, oh, this doesn't exist, it's not real. I didn't believe it either until it happened in front of me. So it's like I had people, while I was doing massages or I was doing Reiki, that literally they got possessed by an entity, and this entity were doing all the crazy faces and say things and having foam out of their mouth. But people think that this happened only in films, or they associated with a strong sense of fear. That's why we had, the exorcism of Emily Rose, all those films that, scared the shit out of us. And it's because they wanted you to feel fearful in front of this episode, in front of this paranormal thing. They wanted you to feel fear because those entities can do something only in the presence of fear. And think about the fact that the church has being a priest, an exorcist. It's a thing you have to study. There are books that tell you how to do it, and I had to learn that by myself through the divine. They told me how to do it. They gave me the information of what to say and how to do it so that I can remove the entity. But we need to understand that we cannot get caught up in fear, because the only way that they can act it's through fear. So if you are afraid, you are giving them the power. You are giving them the power to exist and do something. Instead, when you hold the absence of fear, and when you hold the divine connection, I am presence, I am all there is, I am God, I am source, you basically, this entity lose completely their power. And it's funny that today, this morning, I went out and I was writing, and then I started to write. I'm writing some books, and in one of those, I started to write about possession. I was like, why am I writing about this? And then in the afternoon, I literally, one of my clients had a possession live, so during one of our sessions. And I don't want people to think that this is something that is out of your control, or this is something scary from the horror movie and you're about to die. Actually, what you need to understand is that you are way more powerful than what you think. And those entities are simply low vibrational entities that can hook you, because we still have a mind. So, we are made of mind, body, and spirit. And of course, one part of you is divine and all knowing and is always connected and is the highest version of you. But then the other side of you is a mental one. And the mental one can create fear, worries, overthinking,
Vision.
panicking, making bigger scenario, and if you allow that to happen, then you will give them power. You will give power to those experience, to those entity, when in reality they have none.
The
So
map of consciousness too is a great way to be able to determine where you are in the field. So love, enlightenment is the top.
yeah.
Shame, guilt, fear, apathy, those are the bottom. So look up the map of consciousness, David Hawkins, and you can see when you're in those lower vibrating frequencies, it's easier for entities to attach. And it doesn't always have to look as extreme as the exorcism. You know, it doesn't have to look that extreme. It could just be intrusive thoughts.
Mm-mm.
It could
they
be as simple as that.
they have a big range of manifesting themselves depending on how weak you are. So if you are really, really weak, like the person that I've been doing the session today, she has been having an operation. She hasn't been having supported people around. She's also been using, drugs and things. So you become weaker. And for this entity, it's easier to then come into you. But if you are less weakened, like less weak, you can just experience them as really dark thought or self sabotaging behaviors, like, and it happened to me too, like I get them still now with all my bloody experience. I still have them anyway. Sometime I would
Even,
go
sorry,
into
Alita.
mm,
I was just going to say, even if your physical body is weak, even if your physical body isn't feeling good at all, your mental status, you're able to completely transcend the physical.
Yes.
And when your physical body isn't doing well, that is when you want to pay attention the most
Yes.
to your, because you can transcend all of that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. So, but it's just for people who feels that it's like, don't get into fear. Just stick with the presence. That is all you need. You are God. You are the universe. You are made of the same substances of the stars. You are alive, and everything that God created is alive. The wind, the flower, everything is alive, and you are alive. So when you hold your presence, you can feel your presence, your essence, your energetical body, then you just hook into that and you leave the mind. You totally leave the mind. Imagine like you have an elevator, and from here you are lowering down here. And for example, when I get into some binge eating or like self-harming behavior, is a kind of the same thing. You are getting possessed by something and you cannot stop yourself. And you will go into, it's like a kind of self-harm, or it, it's just getting taken over, And the more we move into we move away from fear, the more we can understand actually is very doable. It's not scary. They wanted us to be scared. That's why all the horror movie are around, because they wanted you to have that perception of what evil possession is. But that is an illusion, because the evil possession have a very big range, and it's not evil possession, is there is an entity there and you need to see it in order to evolve. So it's not something against you, but is you need to learn how to recognize those energies. You need to simply learn to differentiate the two energy. So none of those are here to kill you. None of those will lead you to death if you just learn how to master them. And you will start to recognize, oh, look, this is an energy that vibrates here. This is an energy that vibrates here. If you are afraid of one of the two, you are giving it power. So, for example, if you start to, let's say, you feel an entity in the room, or you feel something wrong in the room, the more you affirm that, the more your brain goes like, oh my god, yes, there is a fucking entity in the room. Perfect. Done. Amazing. You just gave it, you just basically handed the power, and now this entity is making things falling down from the shelves. Alexa start to speak by itself, and you're like, oh god. But that is all you. You've done that. You handed the power. You stated that there is something more powerful than you, and so you created it. When I challenged during my massages, when I was challenged, like, because they literally come out. So I put my hand on top of people and I say, there is any entity here? And the entity just come out and they just start to speak. And they're like, yes, hi. They say a lot of the weirdest shit that you could ever imagine. And then when they start to threaten me, they're like, oh, we're going to kill you. Oh, we're going to do this to you. Oh, we're going to do that to you. I laugh and they get even more mad, because they know is all deception. The only thing they can do is they try their best to scare you. So they will try to make the ugliest face. They will try to have foam and pulling things
This can
out.
also just be an intrusive thought, remember. So this
Yes.
can also just be an intrusive thought. And you can just, with your intention alone and your emotion, that combination is the most powerful. So all you have to do is say, I am the only presence here, and really understand it. And if you gave it a little bit of fear, that's fine. It's a little scary, but you can allow yourself to come back to center, breathe through it, allow the energy to leave. It's just energy. We can put these very specific ideas into it, and we all have our own specific way of looking at the world. So they're going to look different to Alicia than they look to me. But
Exactly.
either way, not getting swept up in those specifics, just allowing them to leave and allowing the energy to flow again. You are the most powerful.
Yeah, because it is in. We all met them, but we all met them in different extreme, and
Yes.
also it depends on your power, like how much you can handle. For me, I was dealing with those since young, so it's just I don't fear them. I actually enjoy it, and I have a bit of a kink with that. But yeah, I mean, I just really enjoy it. But so that's why I can do that.
Yeah.
I can mess with them because I can do that. But in other people, it can look as an intrusive thought, or it can look as a voice that tells you that you're not worthy, or why don't you jump out the window. I had those so many times, like these voices that kept telling me, why don't you jump, it all would be better, it would be a better world without you, you wouldn't have these problems,
Or just you're not enough. Just
or
the little one. You're not
yeah, I'm
enough.
not
You need
enough.
to do the big one. Yeah.
Yes.
And simplifying, Glowstar says some are demons and need to just pray. And Cindy said, hi, Cindy, simplifying all things. So we simplify it. We just bring it back to ourselves. What is the all-knowing presence here within me? Allowing all of the rest to just fall away and seeing yourself as the strongest presence here.
Which is it. That's it. It's like, no matter if I had 7 of possessed body around me, the moment that you unite with your God vessel, you are the strongest presence there. Is nothing can be done. It's just,
yes.
I know it sounds mind blowing, but it's like that. And lately, I don't know if it's the shift that we have been having, the Schumann resonance as well. You can see the graphic has been like spiking all over. People are purging, and some people will purge by themselves, like literally just letting out old stagnant energy from yourself. Or you can also witness people dealing with their demons. Like,
Because our gifts are coming on. Our gifts are all being activated. So some of these negative things will pop up, but really come back to what is the gift being given here. Some of your shadow work will pop up, some of the things that we feel about ourselves, whether it's we're not enough or we're too much. But just looking at that and seeing how you can reinterpret it. If a memory pops up, I always use that as an opportunity to just look at it a little bit differently. Not tell myself the same old story over and over and over that kept me in that loop of being a victim or something like that.
can you please people tap the screen for some like so we can open the algorithm everywhere? Do you guys have any question about something that for you don't know why, but it gives you fear? Because I need to understand so I can help you. Is there something that gives you, I don't know, a thought, a person, a behavior, a beliefs, I don't know. Is there anything that would make you like easy fall into fear? Because
That's a great question.
we have been literally brainwashed to fear the devil. You understand that, people? I mean, you need to understand and understand and upperstand and understand and everywhere that we have been brainwashed with horror movie, ghost movie, from the church, from religion, to fear this side of life. And there is a reason if we have been brainwashed to do that, because that is the only way that you can actually be possessed. If they taught us not to fear it, if they didn't fear spread among like this concept in films and stuff, people will not be afraid. And so when people are not afraid, they are on their power. So you understand that all society have been doing this to you. Your grandmother was slapping your hand and say, "Don't do this, you go to hell." So there is all very deep, like you need to go to the source of the fear.
And
Spirit.
let's look at what an entity is: a type of spirit or energy that can affect the physical body, the energy body or the energy field, your aura, potentially causing all kinds of problems like fatigue, physical discomfort. You could go through negative mood issues, like we were saying, addiction, feeling stuck, feeling conflict or resistance from something outside of you, anger at yourself, self-doubt, mental illness symptoms, and nightmares. Those are just some of the things that entities can contribute to. So you don't have to look at it like this entity. It's just a negative energy that gets swept up, and it has a lot to do with our subconscious. Our subconscious is that inner child within us that just wants to be recognized. So looking at all of the shadows that we have and just reinterpreting it. Fear is the stranger here, deprogramming from so much earth stuff is what Cindy was saying, and I
Yeah,
totally agree.
Bahama was saying spirit and entity do scare me a bit, and that's holding me back from my gift. It's all old program. Yeah. So, but that is it. That is it. You just answer yourself. So the fact that you feel this scare, I'm scared of this, so you are not playing with it because you're scared.
Acknowledging it. Acknowledge it though, bringing that awareness to it. You're allowing that to, yeah, that scared me. Let
it's
Yes.
like it's like life. So if I come into this world and I'm like, okay, can I avoid or dismiss the bad stuff? Well, the answer is no. When you are born, you cannot avoid death. You will not avoid death of your people. You will not avoid pain. You will not, you cannot. So for your gift is the same. When you want to play with source, it's everything. So you cannot say, "Oh, I want to play with my gift and play only with one side," because that is not possible. So
Right.
understanding your strength is like the fact you are scared of something that is actually meant to be. You
The strength
understand?
is in your the strength is in your shadows. So you want to be able to look at the parts of yourself that you don't love, that aren't easy to look at,
Or,
because
or,
that
or,
is
or
where
that scares you, or they are afraid because you are it. Um, it's like you are the only God form. So you literally are God in a form. So God is not afraid of the darkness. God is not afraid of Satan. God is not afraid of nothing. He created it. So we accept that you had a no you had in your mind you have the program of you are vulnerable to those things, so those things can do you something when they can't.
and
And
these things come to us through our subconscious too. It comes to us from negative programming, but it's also coming from our own creation. So these things can come through associated imbalances. That's why we clear our energies, and you can become vulnerable. So the post hypnotic suggestions, the broadcast messages that we leave out for other people to treat us a certain way that we don't even realize we're doing, um, those can be trapped. Those can become trapped, but it's all just an energy. So allowing those things to clear, just literally coming to into your own knowing and allowing those things to clear is all you have to really do, and become aware of it and use your intention with your emotion.
yes, I've been working on this and realizing this. Good. Yes, and lately we are like all this has been like the universe is literally putting us straight into the danger for us to elevate, for us to understand that we just got a wrong perception. We just, you know, uh, It's like when you start training in a martial art, you can't be afraid of a punch. It will come, all right? It will come, it will hit you, and then you understand how to how you say that? How to don't
Maneuver,
get,
opportunity.
yeah. And you master the practice, you master yourself, you master your energy, you understand how this works. But if you put it off and you hold on to fear, then you will never, you understand? You will never get into that. Um, we had so much fire for this live. I mean, I had.
Yeah,
I don't know
we
if you
really
have
did.
anything to add, Betty, or if you want to talk about something.
Lily just said if you can't beat the fear, then do it scared. That's a great way to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for all the love. I see you, brother. Appreciate you.
Is it Phil here?
Phil is here. He's in my life. Thank you very much.
Oh,
No.
I'm jealous. Well,
Yeah.
please, people keep tapping the screen so we open this algorithm a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with this live. All the time, it just gets stuck so low. It's funny. But
The reason we started to do this is because Alice had this situation with a client, and I have some people in my life that are dealing with curses and entities, and they're just things that come into our field that really challenge us and give us the opportunity to look at ourselves in a different light and to transmute these energies and to not give in to the fear. And it's not always easy.
no, but also I feel this happening for a reason because, like, in the past when I was trying to talk about possession, oh my god, girl, like people were not taking it well, especially, I mean, anyway, from my way of talking. But people was really like, no, you spreading lies, spreading fear. I'm like, no, I'm actually trying to do the opposite of that. But the the reality is that if certain things are happening and we are here to master this reality, there is a reason. And the more you deny something, it will not remove its existence. So if
Yeah.
if you just deny, or like people who say, oh, you believe in that crap, you believe in exorcism, the thing is that it's not that I believe, is that I witness something and I also understand it. If you follow the narrative of the church, you are the brainwash. Like, it's like you are calling things that you don't even know what the fuck they are. You know, when people base their narrative on only like the church perspective, or like you believe in demons, they come and they possess you, it's like, well, the church is not telling you the whole story. They're telling you a fraction of the story, what is the most scary thing, so that you can run away instead of deal
It's
with what, you understand, instead of dealing with what this is actually is. And so,
And I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of distortions coming up because that seems to be the narrative is coming
yeah,
up. I'm seeing a lot of TikToks of, our soul brothers and sisters seeing hooded figures around a cauldron and seeing these seeing people taking our energy. And what that tells us is we just need to be aware of what we do with our energy and keep it keep it for ourselves and allow other, allow it. Be aware of your own energy, honestly, and just do not pull into the fear, because that's when I think being aware and putting up a shield, even not even calling in protection, but just putting up a shield of your
yeah,
own energy, great practice to get into. These are things that magic, we don't really think about it because it's woo woo, but in all honesty, I think it's going to start coming in way more natural for people to talk about, because these distortions are keep coming in, and it's been all over my For You page, not necessarily about entities and things, but curse work is coming up, courting, and this is all about energies and how they can attach to us.
call your angel every night. I try to do this. Yes, mostly is like when you have to call back, so calling back your energy is great, okay? But at the same time, you can ask yourself, why did I lose track of my energy? During the day, you need to become enough aware of what's happening to your energy. So if you have interaction and then you feel drained, you have to perceive that. If you go around all day long giving energy left and right, and then at night time you're like, oh, I call back my energy. Yes, all right. Okay, that's good. But also simply try to be with, when you do even the small things like you're washing dishes or you are going out, it's like, how do I feel? How is my energy? How am I? How is my state? How the fuck am I feeling today? Am I breathing fine? Is my belly feeling okay? Do I have body aches? Do I feel fuzzy? Is my throat all right? Do I feel
Yeah.
powerful in my solar plex here? Like, do I feel centered? Do I feel in control? How am I? that is
Yeah.
that is your
Those
energy.
are mindfulness techniques that can bring you into the now moment. I have to get going, Alicia, because it's almost 1. It's
Okay, my
12:53,
love.
but this was really, really fun. Thank you so much. We can do this again, either
Yes,
tonight or tomorrow.
I will see how I feel tonight. We can go live around like 10 or 11 my time, and probably will
Yeah,
be what time for you? Like
it'll be 5,
5. Okay.
which will be perfect for me. Yeah. And we can continue this conversation and get into other stuff too. Yes, East Coast.
Okay. And then for who is in the UK, it will be around probably 10 or 11. But perfect. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. I will just stay in the live for a few minutes more and then I've got to go as well. So let's do one live exorcism. I'm gonna exercise you right now. So let's just do, I'm just gonna send you some energy. You just give me permission to cleanse you a little bit, and you take a deep breath in and out and connect with your essence. Start to feel your essence at the core of your being. Connect your mind with here. For any entities that are here right now, I ask you to leave. I command through Archangel Michael and my divine power, I am presence, to leave the energetical field of the people in this life. Any demon, entity, lower frequency, density is forced to leave right now. Let divine light shine through all your vessel. Nothing that isn't for my highest good will be able to interact with me. Only my highest good is here for me now. Any entity, lower density thought form, you are banned from this body. I release you to go towards the light. You are now infused. with the brightest divine light. The darkness will be purged out of your vessel, out of your energetical field. Any darkness is now completely evaporated. Cool. All right. I hope you feel a little bit better. Thank you. It's not a dress, it's a flowery cake. It looked like a cake to me. Anyway, I hope you're feeling a bit better. And if you have any question about demonic possession entities, how not to fear them, if you want a one-to-one coaching session with me, the link is in my bio. I just have to show you to reclaim the exorcist that is in you. And for how mad this sounds, you actually have the power of God. You are God. So if you need some help with that, my link is in the body. Yeah, I see my link is in the body, in my body, in the bio. If you need Reiki, I do 45-minute Reiki session, and there is the link as well in my bio. And in case I don't see you, but probably we will catch up again tonight, because this is a topic that, I mean, today just spirit is like, speak about it. My spirits look like demons right now. They're like, speak about it. And I'm like, yeah, I will. I am going to. So it's not that God is with you. It's that God is in you. God is you. There is no separation between you and God, you and Source. God is not a man in the sky. God is an energy, is everything and nothing, is physical and non-physical, is empty and full, is above and below. So you are that. Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I get mad. What I mean is, when things are in your field and those things make you feel afraid or scares you, you need to have the ability to quickly come back to your God form. So God is not afraid, ever. And God is not afraid of the devil, of the entity, or demons, or lower entity. God got for dinner with them. So every time something comes into your reality that gives you fear, that is your opportunity to unite with God, your God version. And once you go back to it, the fear disappears, because you understand that you are the most powerful entity in the fucking room. Yes, even when it's about Genstalker, it's the same thing. The more you give them power by acknowledging them, by giving it fear, by your brain saying, oh my God, they're there, look what they're doing, you are giving it power. When the power come back to yourself and to your God form, you look at them with pettiness. You look at them with petty divine love. You're like, I give you love, because you feel the strength that is in you. You are Jesus, you are Christ consciousness, you are Him. You have the halo, we have the heart. We perform miracles, literally. So it's all about perception. So it's the perception that you give. It's like when you speak in a lack mindset, for example, you're like, my life is shit, I cannot find a new job, or I am not like this, I am not like that. You are God speaking. You are God speaking a reality, and that reality will become real because you are fucking God. So the more aware you become of your power, of what you give fear to, of what you state with your brain, you understand that everything you are stating, you are creating it. And only by lingering around and staying with your God like presence, you understand you are the strongest entity in your house, in your town. You are God. So everything come easy to God. You understand? So you change and reprogram the narrative, and you say to yourself like, things come easy to me. I don't have nothing to worry. Opportunity always appear at my door. I don't have to chase. I don't have to drain myself. I can just receive. And you say it with that inner knowing of who you are, is your essence. And I'm not saying that, it's easy. I've been doing these things since 2019, even before. So it does take a while, but that is the commitment that you have with yourself. It's how much committed are you? Well, you see, for that question, for example, somebody look how your brain works. Okay, so you just said, my sis and brothers say I should have a stage because I speak truth. Your God version, the God version that is inside of you, it's saying, I will be given a stage because I already speak truth. So literally you can manifest that. You will start to speak your truth. You start to speak your divine path, what you are called to do. And then the universe will give you a stage. God will give you the stage because you prove that. Yes, the way you speak and the way you think. And for example, I would say to myself a lot of very bad things like, I'm not enough, or on TikTok, for example, every time I make a video, I have a part of me that feels like, oh, nobody will like your video. And I don't know why, I just have that every fucking time I make a video. But I needed to learn to speak different. And it would be like, I am doing this video for the few people that likes it. And it doesn't matter, it's very subtle, but it's just the point of view that you come from. It's like you don't have to prove anything to nobody. So why are you afraid that people will not give you validation? You don't need the validation. You are doing it because you want to. Amazing, Alotta Muffin. I'm so proud of you. I hate that part of the brain. Yes, I know. I hate it too. I hate it too. But it needs, is our inner child. Our inner child got scared. In all my life, I was never accepted for me. And so every time I was doing something, I would have people around telling me, you're not supposed to do it like that, not like this, not like that. Oh, but this is inappropriate. Oh, but this is too much. Or you are too much. Or you are too little. And so my inner child, even though I was 29 years old, my inner child was still behaving like with this kind of trauma. So I would do something and I was expecting already somebody to come to me and say, this is wrong, this is not enough, you are too much, you are too little. So I was like in a freeze response because I wasn't aware that my subconscious mind was doing that. I wasn't, and so that's why I do my reprogramming coaching session, or I do those long audios on my Insight Timer, or you can find them also in Spotify, in which I repeat constantly something so that I can change the subconscious, I can reprint the subconscious, because the subconscious is just open and is very easy malleable. So let's say that you are walking in the street and you like a guy, and then you see that guy, you like it, and then that guy go over to your best friend. In your fucking subconscious mind, this is how easy it is to traumatize our subconscious. That's why people, I don't know if people really understand what is subliminal messages, because in that event, if you are not strong enough to understand your energy, you will walk away thinking, oh, the guy that I liked my friend. And in the subconscious, you will start to, every time you see something that you like, it doesn't even have to be a guy, it can be even a thing, your subconscious will be like, oh, but that thing wants another thing. Just because of that. Just because. So imagine when you were little and you were at school, somebody told you something. You know, a teacher told you you're not prepared, you're not enough, you're not going to pass the year. Imagine how much our subconscious has been manipulated and is working in autopilot, and then you wonder why your life doesn't change. You wonder why you keep repeating the same experience, or the same shitty friends, or the same loop. And it's because your subconscious mind is programmed like that, so you're gonna repeat it over and over until you snap out of it. So in recording the same you are, of course I say it to me, because then you listen and it's like you are speaking with yourself. But in my tracks is always about I am blessed, or okay, sometimes I might be saying you, but anyway, it's just you need to. And it's the same for entities, like they brainwashed us through those movies, the exorcism, Emily Rose, or horror movies, or the church with the stories that are in the Bible about possessing people. And they only wanted you to have your subconscious mind being so afraid of it that you would freeze and you would simply let them taking over you. Why? Because they feed off fear. So I've been attacked so much. I had like a bunch of hater ones coming, oh, you're spreading lies about demons. And it's like, actually, I'm trying to clarify what they are, because the story that we received from movies and the church was done on purpose for you to lose your power. Demons are not something that you have to fear. Lower entity, they're not something that you need to fear. And you can literally standing next to somebody that is having a full body possession and smile, because you are God. You go to dinner with these entities. You do not fear them. They are there for you. They are there because there is something that you need to understand. They are there because you need to understand your fucking power. How can you be a superhero and never being in a dangerous situation that you will never understand your power, do you? So there are things that come in our reality for a reason. And those things, those stories about entities, they are real, but they can do nothing to you. So that is the most important message of the day. And it happened today that I was properly guided. I did my first exorcism when I was 28, not 29. 29? Yes, 29. Was it 29? Anyway, not long ago, not too far ago. And oh, hello, Chris. And I have been, my presence exorcise, I mean, in my presence people start to act possessed because I call them out. It's just one of my gifts, so I just have to live with it. But in the past I used to be afraid because I didn't know what the fuck was wrong. Like, I would be queuing in a supermarket and then the people in front of me would start to get mad, literally scream or wanted to attack me, like even physically. I could not understand what was wrong, what the fuck was going on. And then I just, I needed to step into my exorcist role, and which I am a priestess, and this is what I do. I don't fear them. But when they see me, they get triggered. But that in a low, not to the extreme of myself, but in a low range, this can happen to you too. When you trigger people, where your presence trigger people, or you have entity tries to get to you, like intrusive thought, or dead food, like why don't you jump from the window, why don't you kill yourself, or like self-harmful behavior, like binge eating until you die. That is all this repressed energy. What demons are is just repressed energy, negative repressed energy. They got repressed and hold so long that it became an entity on his own. You need to constantly transmute things. If you don't transmute them, then they linger around you. Transmutation is like a car. You have the gasoline, that black liquid inside the engine. Well, if you want the car to move, the engine has to transmute the gasoline into that chemical thing, and so the car will move. So it's the same thing for energy. We have light energy and we have dark energy. We need to become familiar with how those energy manifest in our body and our mind, and so you learn how to take one and transmute it, or take the other and transmute it, because we need an amount of darkness and we need an amount of light. Have you talked to other dealers? Oh, I do not need. No, I don't. I don't know who that thing is. But when I exercise people, it is not even me that I'm doing it. I am just literally the vessel. Like, it's not about me. It's just I hold a frequency that is so high that is like when you put holy water into a body, they start to like, and they want to come out. It's just, I summon Archangel Michael, but sometimes I don't even need to. I just say, I am the only presence. I am the only light. And what I'm talking about is God. I am God. We are God forms. So once you assess that, they have no power over you. And actually, you can have fun too. You can ask questions. You can ask them what happened to them, how they got formed. It's very interesting, actually. I spoke with a few of them, and they have really interesting story. Some of them seen darkness all their life, and Yeah. There are mind parasite, there are physical parasite, and there are entities that take over the whole body and they act through you. So they move their mouth and they speak and their eyes go crazy and they like exorcism Emily Rose, that kind of stuff. But it's funny, you can still talk to them, you can still understand them, and sometimes you can still do reverse psychology on them because they are not really that clever. People think they're not really that clever. Like many of them, I would ask question. I would say like, so why are you so angry? So what is your goal? And then they start to say a lot of shit like, oh, I'm gonna take over this body, oh, this or that, and then you tell them, do you know that I can end this torment for you? And then you get them curious, and then they start to ask, why? What do you mean? No, you're lying. I've done all sorts of shit with them. It's so funny. As long as you don't fear them, I managed to, some of them exorcise themselves by themselves. Because I convinced them to say, I allow divine love into me, and they just burnt away. Because I convinced them that I will end their torment. They're not that clever, essentially, okay? So all those demons or forces, entity, parasite, whatever the fuck, they're not really that clever. They can become clever as much as you give them the power. So if you fear them, all right, confirmation. My ears are going crazy. So if you fear them, you give them the power to actually do something to you. But it's not real. They have no power. They only have the power to scare you, or they have the power to take you over when there are some hook in your energy field, like through your mind, through substances, through energy vampires, or just unhealthy habits that you have, or the customer that I exorcised today, she just went through an operation. So she went to the hospital, she was about to die, so she went in, she was, her energetical body was weak. So because she was weak, it was easy for those entities to access her. So it's important how you feel, how your body is, how your vibration are, your energy. But we are all going through this in a sense that we have to be exposed to those things in order to understand our gifts. So practicing detachment from fear, it's the only thing you need to do. We are eternal, so we don't fear even death. So what is left there to fear? Think about it. Once you spiritually accept death, and it could happen in an hour from now, when you totally let go and surrender, you understand that this is a game. Your soul is eternal. This is just a bodysuit that we change once in a while. When you release all fear, when you are faced with heavy shit, you are untouchable, because you already, like, fear of what? If you're not even afraid of dying and losing everything, then it's impossible to corrupt you with fear. You understand what I'm saying? Everything become more of a game. Everything become more exciting, because you're like, okay, I can play with this. I'm not talking about, like, I don't want you to try and, like, destroy fear in a weird way. I'm just trying to say the stupid shit that we get fearful over, fearful of say what you think, fearful of what people think, fearful of talking, fearful of being you, fearful of being cringy, fearful of being clumsy, fearful of not being the coolest. They're just stupid fucking fear that something paranormal is gonna get you. You are a fucking god. What paranormal can get you? What are you talking about, girl? You are divine power. You are God in God form. Like, you are God in human form. What are you talking about? Your gifts. You cannot be afraid to play with your gifts. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, Tommy, I know you do that too, I guess. Have you done exorcism too? I think I've seen your channel. I don't remember exactly if you talked about these things, but yeah, so I hope I will be the the platform. I will be your foundation if you are feeling like you don't have foundation, if you feel like you don't have a solid ground to stand on. I will be that strong ground to stand on. So if anything that I can do to create a foundation, it will be mirroring your power. When you see my power, you are seeing your power. This is what I'm trying to understand. Because the girl that this event happened today, she kept telling me, when I see you, I see what I'm not. And that was the fear trying to trigger her. Because the reality is that I was a mirror to her potential. But yet the spirit were trying to deceive her, thinking that she will never be like me, or she will never have that strength inside. But the truth is, I do not interact with people that I am a mirror for people. So whatever you see in me is the reflection of you. So if you see powerful, then you know that the power is in you. If you see something to judge for, that means that you are judging yourself too. So I'm your mirror, and I can tell you, you are capable to play with both of these side of life, and you are capable of transmuting everything. Fear, pain, sadness, grief, anything. Thought, parasite, demonic parasite in your mind. Anything, once is recognized, once you can become aware of it, once you can highlight it, see it, acknowledge it, then you have the power to do whatever the fuck you want with it. You understand? I seem really kind. Oh, that's mean that you might be really kind. Because I'm not totally kind. But whatever, I'm literally a reflection. So whatever you see in me is what is in you. So I'm glad that you said that, because probably you are a really kind soul. I can be as much kind, as much deadly and non-kind. I swear. I decided to split myself into both. So I can deal with very low vibrational shit. I can deal with very low hell kind of vibe. And I can deal with high light things. is just, I am the both. And so, and it is the same for you, by the way. It's like the most kind people are the most lethal as well. So every time you excel in something in one polarity, you are excelling in that polarity, in the opposite of that polarity too. Hate and love are the same thing, and people don't understand that. And it's the same thing that God and the devil are the same thing. It's just the opposite expression of that. So the opposite expression of love is hate, but they do come from the same core essence. Darkness and light, so the demons and the angels, are actually the same thing, just expressed in the opposite manner. You understand that? I don't know if you understand that. I hope you understand that. But yeah, so you cannot fear one side of the spectrum. If hate is there, is for a reason. You have to see something. If love is there, you have to see something in love too. If darkness is there for you. We use everything in the spectrum. Nothing get left. On the spectrum, we use everything. That's why many demons have wings and looks like angels, and that's why some angels look like demons. I promise you, some angels does just look like fucking demons. They are dark and they have eyes everywhere and they have like weird dark wings. My own wings, actually, this is a funny story, but my own wings are this color and they are huge. My wings reach almost 4 meters outside my body, and they're just energetical wings, so you can't even see them. But when I saw them the first time, I almost had a panic attack because I thought I was evil. God. And then Source came in and I was like, no, no, you're not evil. But I am very in contact with the darkness, more than the light, in a sense. Oh, anyway, you have to understand your own. We are all unique, so the way that you function in the spiritual world, your gifts and your abilities are very, very, very unique. So the things that about you that you think there might be weird as fuck or the most strange thing, they might be actually your highest gift. It just needs to be interpreted. Because, yeah, anyway, for this, if you want to go deep into this, you can book a session with me. But essentially, this path is for you to understand your own divinity. And your own divinity is very different from any other divinity. We are all unique fragment of God. So I am a unique fragment of Source. You cannot replicate me, even though they tried. You cannot clone me, even though they try to kill me even. But that is just not possible because I hold my uniqueness. I'm a fragment of God and I'm made in a very specific way, and you have to find your own uniqueness too. Well, sadistic. We can go into a very complex topic here. Sadism is the art of hurting yourself, and most of us are sadistic already. You do every day a job that you do not like, that is masochism. Most of us has been, when you go to church and people whip themselves to ask forgiveness for God. Our whole society, our whole system is based in sadistic practices. When you send your son to school, you are inflicting pain. You know that? You know that for a 3, 4 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, it's not normal to be forced to be seated in a desk to listen to boring shit until your brain fucking dies. So what we think is normal has been demonic all along. You know that we give birth horizontally instead of vertically, and yet the vertical will help us during the delivery of the child because the gravity force is helping us delivering. We have been taught on purpose the reverse of what is natural. So we have been brainwashed in becoming masochistic and sadistic, and you're not even aware. Most of the things you do are a torture. Conforming, proving, acting, delivering, responsibility, like forced to fit in, forced to do things you don't like, you are already in the darkness from day one. Anything that you do and you don't like, that is your form of we have been brainwashed into this since day one. But it's interesting because, again, everything is nothing and nothing is everything. So even though pain and masochism and sadistic is not the solution of everything, it still does something. If we talk in dopamine, if we talk in a scientific point of view and we talk about dopamines get released with pleasure, but there are many studies and it's proven scientifically that pleasure lead to pain and pain lead to pleasure. So in the morning, let's say you wake up and you look for pleasure. So you wake up and you look for coffee. Then you wake up and you look for food. Then you wake up and you look for the phone. Then you wake up and so you are chasing pleasure. That will actually lead you into pain. Instead, when you reverse it and in the morning you look for uncomfortable things, so you wake up and you look for a pint of water, which is not much pleasure, or you look for do gym or run or exercise or meditate, then you will feel good after. So again, when you speak with highest level of consciousness, you understand that there is no division. So there is no division between dark and light. But if you create division, then you get into trouble. If you create fear for one of the two spectrum, then you get in trouble. You understand what I'm saying, people? Or is this too crazy? Anyway, I hope you get it. The Illuminati and the people who do dark work, that dark work can function just because there is fear. So if I could harness, so for example, let's say I can, so let's say you want to use things for your selfishness and you want to do a ritual or for your own gain, or you want money and power and you want it quickly. You don't want to go through the whole process of actually becoming God, but you just want a quick fix and you just want something quickly. Then of course I can rely in the dark side, because the dark side give you things easily and in exchange of something. So it could be in exchange of a ritual or sacrifices or deception, or, and most of celebrity does this anyway, but people are just asleep. But so you can gain power through that, but then essentially what happens is that whatever you gain out of it, it will not last forever, and it constantly requires you to sacrifice something. It could be sacrificing people, or sacrificing your own soul, or sacrificing your time, or whatever it is. But when you understand that you can have it all without the shortcut of the black magic, then you are committing yourself to embody your God form. But a person that is in your God form, when I see dark practitioner, I laugh at them, that I feel pity for them. They have their music doesn't work, their brainwash doesn't work, their ritual doesn't work with me, their you know, you just look at them with compassion. It's just like, oh my God, it's like a baby they want to cheat at a test, you know, instead of studying, it's just cheating. And then it's like, well, okay, you maybe get a good grade, but it won't last. Your ignorance will still be shown in the long run. In Italy we say the lies doesn't have long legs. Lies have short legs. There's so much they can do, you know. So the even people who will be like, oh, I'm afraid of her, she's a witch. This is not people. Once you are committed to unite with your God form, dark and light become your best friends. Dark and light, demons and angels hang around you all the time. But they both serve you. And look, I've got full body chills right now. Is because God was playing with dark and light. God created them, otherwise it would be bored. We need the day and we need the night. We need the birth and we need death. But when you embody God, these are tools in your hands. They are not anymore, oh, I have to be afraid of that and I have to go and use only the light. You understand that we are God and we can play with those energies. I had people, for example, I would go live with someone and this person was talking, and the more they were talking, the more I felt something was going on with my energetical body. And in a second, I understood the intention of the person in which I was talking to. She was trying to act like a friend, but during our interaction, because I don't read words anymore, I don't read the 3D shit no more, the material things no more, I don't read the body anymore, I read energy. So while she was talking, I kept feeling punches on my solar plexus because I'm aware of my energy. And when I start to feel those punches on my solar plexus and I was just talking because I was doing nothing, I was like, what is this? And they showed me she was trying to attack my solar plexus. Well, I am God. You choose what you want to be, my beautiful butterfly. I am God. Because to be the God children, it means that the DNA of God is in me. I am alive as He is. I create as He does. We are made in the same image and abilities. Is written this even in the Bible. So God have the abilities of creation and you do too. So you are the creator. You are God in human forms. God created you on His image and powers. So if you want to lower yourself, so if you need to feel lower compared to Him, that is your choice and you can do that. You are free to feel underneath Him. I am with Him. I am Him. There is no separation between me and God. So that is up to you in what key you want to read it. But it's called the demon of worth, worthless is in you. When you are afraid of saying I am God, is because you are actually possessed. There is an energy inside of you that is keeping you separated from the source of all. So that's why when I say demons, they are not only the one who literally act like possessed body, but they come in subtle form like this one. We are lower than him. This is an entity that is establishing your reality. So you are and you will be forever beneath God. And that is the realm that you choose to be. And you are free to be there. If you come through me, so if you ever one day you want to have a session with me, I will not accept that. I will have to remove that demon, that entity out of your body for you to speak with me, because I am a divine being. I cannot mix with peasants. I cannot mix with people that believe that they are below. My soul cannot do that. They drain me. I can't speak to them. I can speak only with people that understand their power, which means that they are God. And everything around them is a reflection of themselves. So there is a lot of responsibility to take in order to do that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. It's a lesson than a ceremony. It is. It is. But that's why, when you see like people talking about the Kundalini, for example, and they explain about the serpent energy, and then you see those people from the Christian community acting like possessed body. They're like, no, that is the devil. They are not aware that they are the one being possessed. They're funny as fuck. Like, yeah, Tantra is my philosophy. But yeah. So once you see how demons take over, you will start to recognize it very easy, because people literally act like possessed body. So a normal person would sit down and say like, okay, I've got some concern about this and that, and I would like to know more, and I should, study more about it. The possessed one, they will immediately act possessed. Like, Jesus, call Jesus Christ, the serpent is demonic, you're gonna die. And like they are the one who are possessed. So it's just fascinating to me how this but every time we get triggered, this is a reason for us to become aware. So for example, I don't know, you see something that triggers you. For example, Christianity. I used to hate them. Most Christian, I would have grabbed them by the neck and killed them. And I had to overcome my own demon. My own demon was making me feel afraid of Christian people for everything that I went through. So what happened is, because I got traumatized by Christians, when I grew up, I made all of them in the same category. I was like, oh, whatever Christian, they're all shit. That I had to exercise my own demon against them. And I had to calm down and be like, no, okay, Alice, they're not all the same. Some of them are actually in very similar to you, and they connect with Christ consciousness exactly like you, but they just do it in a subtle, different way. But by learning to feel the energy, now I recognize them. Even though they call themselves Christian, whatever the fuck, I read their energy and I just read their intention and their vibration. But in the past, basically, I developed a trigger, and I had to ask myself, why every time a Christian is in front of you, you get crazy? So I had to exercise myself from that. And the same they have to do. When they point fingers, when they play God, when they make the rules, when they judge, because Christians are really good at judging, they have to exercise the shit that got into their vessel. But yeah. How do you know you are possessed? Well, I just said it. I just said it. You act out of yourself and then you come back and you're like, oh my God, what just happened? Why that person triggered you on that to that extent? Why are you engaging in self-harming behaviors and you cannot stop yourself? You are possessed. When you keep doing something that is bad for you, you cannot stop it, you keep doing it. What do you think that is? You have lost control over your vessel. How, in other way, how do you want to call it? So it goes like this. And there are things that trigger me. It's just about how much you can become aware of things. You understand? So I would react insanely every time I was supposed to deal with a Christian person, but that was just because I got wounded by them. And so I created an energy inside of me of resentment towards those people, and I kept repressing it without healing it, and it became an entity on his own. And so every time I was interacting with Christians, I would turn into the devil. But then this happened to them too. So it is not anymore about different religions. It's simply about learning how to read energies. So remove all the religion shit out of it and the spiritual shit out of it. You are learning how to decode your energy and your feelings and your reactions. As I said, when I was talking with that girl and I started to feel punches on my solar plexus, I was able to witness her intention. She wasn't talking to me for something good. Her intention were very evil. And even though the words that was coming out her mouth were really pretty, she was attacking my energetical body. And so each one of us can become aware of how every little thing, topic or person or entity or whatever the fuck activity is triggering you, so that you can understand what is happening on your energetic field. And instead of reading the manifestation of it, you are reading the energy of it, and that you cannot be deceived. That's why an angel could come to me camouflaged. Sorry, a demon could come to me camouflaged as an angel, and I will just know it straight away, you know? Because it's not about the look. You can look like an angel and be fucking evil. So that's why in the church and in many religions they teach you not to judge, because in this context, appearance doesn't matter. You can look, I could have long bloody teeth and have my face like, I could literally look the worst that you can, like materially wise, physically wise. I could literally be the most ugly thing and my energy will still not lie. You will still be able to move back, to move beyond what something looks like or what my words sound like. You know the amount of spiritual people in TikTok that have like a huge followers, especially there is an old lady that Chris know which one it is. That old lady that she does all day long Reiki. She's evil as fuck. And she has so many followers and she has so many people that when they go in her room, they're like, oh my God, I can really feel the energy. And I'm just like, she has this vessel of a lovely old lady. She's literally Satan itself. But people can't, again, you need to understand how to read energy. Energy never lies. The vessel can lie to you. That's why I keep telling people, like, most of the people that how can I say that? It's like a homeless, smelly and dirty. I could look at it and I see, and he is an angel. And the next homeless, dirt, same condition, he's possessed. I see this all day long, all the time. So it doesn't really, truly, what I'm trying to say is that it does not matter the exterior, it does not matter the words that come out when you are able to tune into the energy. So it's like when I listen to this person, when I am in the presence of this person, what is happening to my energetical body? What the fuck is happening? And then your body will answer. Your body will say like, oh, I feel uplifted. Then it means that that person is worth following, or that person is worth to keep. Somebody can look as pretty as fuck, and then you watch a bit of their content, or you heard them talking, and then you close your eye and you feel drained, you feel less of, you feel fear. Doesn't matter how pretty she looks or how beautiful and divine her content looks like, the energy is saying the opposite. And this is what I'm trying to teach people to really, really, really tune in. Because there are a lot of people that would make a video, for example, they were saying, they would say stuff like, listen, are you still smoking? You know that smoking is not good for you. If you need help, follow my course. So what happened? What happened there? And in your mind, you're like, oh, this girl is really nice. She wants to help people to stop smoking. The truth is, she is creating a problem. So she's saying, are you still smoking? And immediately you go like, yes. Why? And then, so fear is already installed. And then she's like, you know that is not good for your spiritual shit. If you need help, contact me. And then you will feel like, oh my God, I need to contact her. This is, it seems like it's a creator that is creating something to help you. In reality, she hooked you creating fear, and then she drew you in by being the solution to your fears. You understand? What do you mean about religious words to pray? Pray, it's something very personal, and it's something that you can create from scratch. You do not have to follow other people's way of doing it. When I pray, I simply pray on myself and on others. I bless my vessel. I say, I bless my vessel. I bless the people around me. I pour divine love into me. I pour divine love into people and situations and circumstances around me. I pray for clarity. I pray to receive a signal. I prayed for a sign from the universe. I pray for new opportunity. I pray for more self-confidence. I pray for whatever. Prayer, it's you getting closer to God. So you have to embrace the process of understanding what that means to you. So anyway, I need to, oh my God, 7. I need to leave right now, but I will be back later on tonight. So just keep an eye on the TikTok, and I will put this live on YouTube so you can watch it. Okay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Enjoy the day, beautiful butterflies. Thank you for hanging out, and bye.